Right, to this developing story still, voting for new leadership of the Pan-African Parliament will now take place in October. This comes after yet another suspended plenary session after more scuffles broke out in chambers.
That's right. Now, the PAP descended into chaos yesterday afternoon after MPs couldn't agree on the election process or the rotational system. Newzroom Africa's Mbali Thethani was in the chambers for us. She filed this report.
The Pan-African Parliament has been attempting to vote in new leadership, but the House descended into chaos for a third day after MPs could not agree on a rotation of power in Parliament. The southern region is calling for power to be rotated, but the eastern and western regions want elections to go ahead under normal democratic processes and not according to regions.
Malabo Protocol is one of the legal instruments of PAP. We need to bring all this and then we make opinion. You cannot say no, only rotation. You cannot make rotation for rotation. We need to know how we are going to process in your rotation, because if you start the rotation there, I think it will be the started. Is the new protocol we are going to apply.
No rotation, no election.
Parliamentarians from the southern region say it's unfortunate that some in Parliament refused to vote in a new president according to a regional system.
Yes, I'm disappointed by the fact that people don't want to comply with the instructions from the AU. We are the organ of the AU. We must comply with the AU principle on rotation. If we resolve the issue of rotation, we're done. Because elections will then be very small item on the bigger agenda of trying to correct the wrongs of the continent. Because we'll know the next in line is this region. They must go and sort themselves out. And then they'll come and present to us who's next. That's all. So by refusing to comply with that rotation, you are consuming a lot of time on elections, which is unnecessary. Because if the agenda is to unite the continent, we must apply the principles that are uniting the continent.
You are not mandated to administer this election.
The African Union has instructed the House to rotate leadership. In a letter from its legal department, it says if power is not rotated, it would be illegal. Meanwhile, some members of the ANC Women's League gathered outside the parliament. They protested in solidarity with ANC Chief Whip Pammy Majodina, who was allegedly assaulted on Monday by a fellow MP.
Accepting an apology and corrective measures, those are two different things. I accepted an apology because he was saying he was not doing that intentionally. He was fighting or kicking a Zimbabwean, but I was caught up in a crossfire. That is something else. But now to say how a member of parliament behave and conduct himself, that is why these women are here, especially when a woman come between you to make peace, then you turn to that woman. These women are right. We are saying globally the pandemic of gender-based violence and femicide must end.
The SADC region is supporting the current acting president from Zimbabwe to take over the reins as BAP president. Members of the Pan-African Parliament from the southern region are adamant that they want a rotation of leadership. They say they will now reach out to the Secretary of Parliament and they want these elections to be conducted and overseen by the AU in October. For Newzroom Africa on Channel 405, I'm Mbali Thethani in Midrand.